Alright, stream, we are back in the Stanley Parable. Sorry about that quick interruption. Welcome back. Ha, that's funny. I want to look at that trophy. Quit the game and then restart it again. Test trophies. Please ignore. I'm gonna get that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons.
Can I at least
doing
try the
exactly
pod?
what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now
You guys,
he's
you
eating
never
lunch.
let me try
Now
anything
he's
new.
going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I want to go.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen
Come on,
to him.
Anthony. Anthony, join.
And so he began to fantasize about his own
Can you
job.
guys hear me?
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his hated him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Here's the one room. Here's my utility area.
Oh, your laundry room.
Yeah, I have the attic off to the side. I have storage stuff in. But yeah, and then I have one back bedroom, which gets really cold during winter and hot during summer. This is where my daughter used to sleep.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a...
It's just a game to where you just go through constant doors.
I did show it to her.
All you do is just ignore the narrator and do whatever you want.
It's the structure, she said.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So if everything's gonna come down, it's gonna come down from what the best part.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
She knows that.
She what?
She knows
Yeah,
that.
I know that.
Yeah, we know that. But yeah, I share. I've shared water for the 10 years I've lived here with the downstairs neighbor. I've had 5 different neighbors.
How do they go and decide who owes what?
We don't because she pays the water bill.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
5 different people lived downstairs. When the kids and I was in California, one year, somebody, the girl that was living down there, somebody else moved in, and we're trying to get in the apartment. They locked the damn door. Hello, here, the kids are in. I said, you know what? I live here. Can I get in? Oh, I'm sorry. Dude, you want to block your kid in? Block him in your own damn apartment, not the shared apartment or the shared porch. Yeah, that was funny. And then, yeah, her kid dug up.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
And then it was empty for a little bit. And then we had a girl live there for a night.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep, and I had another guy that him and I actually knew. He lived here with Mom. And then Jackie. What was that? Yeah, he lived here with Mom.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yeah, Ron. I moved in when Ron was here. So Ron's been here.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yeah, you know what? He's a good guy, and he's a redhead.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh, 'cause my kid was learning how to drive and I had her pick me up and so when we're yelling at each other and he's slamming the door in my face, I put my foot in and it blocked him so he couldn't do it. And he said,
Looting.
"No, call the cops." I said, "You just go fucking right ahead and do it." I ended up went to jail because it was.
No.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
She just lets it pile up and pile up.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
But he did it. Like, oh, okay. I have no problem with that. I do the same.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I'm either leaving or coming.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I just needed to get out of corrections. I needed to get the hell out. Here's so long story, but all they do is abuse you nonstop. I mean, all you do is you just push and push and push, working in the kitchen, and
I know how to from one place to another place, going up.
they transfer.
Yeah. She got really, oh yeah, and
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Because she was clocking out on her phone.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Yeah, I worked in segregation. We did all the cell entries. We did all the shit. I didn't do GP at all, unless I did a double, you know, but...
Rock's still driving truck.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
He's changed companies.
Well, because I knew at one time he had his truck here, it's like, okay. And then when he's gone, it's like, I wonder if he's still doing it. Well, yeah, one probably stayed in there.
Yeah, Lena died, so it was...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, I had a squirrel tear up the damn screen on this.
Killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Yeah, it's not pretty. And she doesn't do anything about it.
No. And that's
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley... No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No! Oh. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Oh yeah, I have some idea. The last time I had problems with Jane, she goes, you guys.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
About the sun, her son, or something that runs this like when the trees went down.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Told ya. Yeah, that's what Ron said. And I said, are you kidding me? Child labor laws.
Yeah.
But then they had, yeah, but it was just because we had called about the ceiling because I had talked to you about the insurance. If you had insurance or if they had insurance or, I mean, I had insurance on it. As soon as I moved in, I'm like, insurance has definitely gotta be on this place. But then, he ran into the son and he was in Jackie's apartment. And he was getting rid of
Is it over?
all hair and stuff.
It's going to restart, isn't it?
Or
I'm going
her
back.
bathtub. And he was getting rid of that. And I said, so why wouldn't he come and take care of our shit? Why wouldn't he take care of the ceiling? And I think it's only because it's a woman only that lives in that place. That's probably why.
I'm a woman. I mean, he's only here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's the reason why. She knows that you can do shit.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Well, Ron's got to be home by now, and you got to come down and talk to him. I want you guys to at least talk. Because we need to. What?
Oh, well,
Is
yeah,
he?
I gotta cook food.
Don't
No, I do. We haven't eaten all day. I need something to eat. So, yeah, I'll talk to Ron. Not today, though. Because I've been
Alright.
drinking. I don't want to get into it with him.
He's not going to get into it.
No,
with
but
you.
I know the way things go at times. So I know I want to eat. I'm hungry. No, I'm starving. Shut up. So, yeah.
She doesn't want to talk to him.
Yeah, just butt out. I don't want to talk to him really right now. But yeah, this is my partner. Nice meeting you, Tanya.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, you have a good night.
I think you're a good person. I think you're a good person. I think he's a good person.
No, he's loud mouth at times.
Yeah,
I
I know.
Very careful.
Got because of my vertebrae.
Yeah, and like I said, yeah, you're not drunk either. He said.
No, I'm not.
That's what he said. You're not drunk either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made it.
I would hate that. Moving out
Yeah.
would be fucking terrible.
We
You know what I'd do?
came up the back steps with most of the stuff.
I would do an elevator. I would do an elevator thing going downstairs. I would break down those walls. And if you ever need help, I'll be here to help you. Ron will be here to help you too.
Yeah, well, we gotta find a place first.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Yep. There.